Hi, this is Mrs. Chang. So today we're going to take our information from last day's assignment with your carbon footprint, and we're going to put the information into an easy to see visual format. So we're going to learn how to make some charts and graphs. So according to my instruction sheet for part A, we're going to copy and paste the carbon footprint charts from last week's assignment into a Google spreadsheet. Okay, hopefully right now you're watching the video to learn how to do that. Now it does say here that we want the pie charts to compare the 4 categories of our carbon footprint when living in Canada, and we want to make sure that the categories are these colors. Okay, the reason we want the colors to be consistent, the same, is so that if we compare different classmates' footprints or different areas of the world, it's easy for us to know every time that red means category for home, food is category for green. If every student uses a different color, it's not going to let us be able to see the information as quickly. So how do I do this? Well, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go back to your assignment page. So you should have a chart that looks like this that you've already completed and I've already marked. Now this one here, question 6, is from the footprint about when you were living in Canada. So just make sure that you know if you're getting the chart for living in Canada or if you're getting the chart from the country that you lived in before Canada. What I'm going to do is I'm going to copy that information by just right-clicking the mouse and copying, and I'm going to open up Google Spreadsheet. So how I do that is I go to this waffle icon up here, and there's something called Google Sheets. If I click on Google Sheets, this is going to open up, and it's a new spreadsheet, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to paste my chart into the spreadsheet. I'm going to give this a name. Mrs. Chang spreadsheet. Okay. And if I want to make these columns larger, I can do that as well, okay? By just clicking on it with your mouse or with your finger, if you have a touch screen. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to show the information in an easy to see way. So first of all, I want to remind myself this is for Canada. This is my Canadian footprint, okay? And if I want to make a pie chart, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the information from here. I want to have all of this. Now I don't want to have the total, because if I have the total, what's going to happen, I'll show you, is if I make a pie chart with the total, and I'm going to go to Insert, Chart, and I can control what type of chart I want by saying the chart type. So here is a pie chart, and I put that here. Column 2 must be generic. Sorry, what's going on here? Oh, I see. Okay, the reason I'm having a problem right now is because I have forgot to get rid of the units. Now, they don't want units in a pie chart because that's going to come in our labeling, not in the actual value of the number. So it was good if you put the units of kilograms on your chart, but right now we need to delete those, okay? So now that I have this information, I have my columns, what each number represents, so home, food, and I have the actual value of the number. I'm going to take this information, I'm going to highlight it, and I'm going to say Insert, Make a Chart. Now you'll notice if you get a chart like this, what's the problem? Well, I'm seeing my 4 categories, but I'm also seeing half of my category seems to be something called total. That's a problem because it's saying that's the total amount of carbon, but that's not what I'm interested in. I want my pie chart to be 100% of all the carbon I do, and then the pie chart is showing me how each category represents the amount of carbon I'm using. So this would be 100%, and home is going to be more than 22%. So what I need to do is I'm going to delete this. Okay? Get rid of something called total if you had it. Don't use it for this pie chart. We're going to go here. We're going to do it again. Insert chart. And you see how this pie graph is a lot better because it's showing me that 100% of my carbon use when I was in Canada, right? But it's now dividing that 100% into the different parts of all of my daily activities, whether it's things I do at home, the type of food I eat, how does it produce carbon, my transportation patterns, how does it produce carbon, etc. Okay, so you want your pie chart to look like 4 different colors, 4 different categories. Now, if I go back to my information sheet, it tells me I'd like certain colors. So how can I change that? On Google Spreadsheets, you have little dots here at the corner if you touch it, and it says edit the chart. So I'm going to click on that, and you can see here that if I want to customize, I can go here. Customize just means you're going to make something to suit your needs or what you want it to look like. So over here, I'm going to go to pie chart. I'm going to scroll down, and I can see that I want to do pie slice, and here are the different categories. So right now, home is the color blue, but I want home to be the color red according to the assignment sheet. So I'm going to change that. Now I have a red. If I want to change the other categories, I can go here. Food is green. Purchases are still yellow, which is fine. And then transportation is supposed to be the color gray. I'm going to do that, and voila, I'm going to finish that, okay? Now, I also need to add a title to my pie graph, or else people don't know what does this represent. So my title is going to be my name. So in this case, this isn't my pie chart, so I would pretend, let's say it's actually Lael's footprint, so I'm going to use her. Lael's Canadian carbon, Lael's Canadian carbon footprint. Lael, thanks for letting me use your assignment as an example. So if I do this, it's going to look like this. Now, if I really want to make it look more professional, I can actually decide if I want to center the title. So if I click on this, it now centers. I can even bold the title. And if I don't like the font, which is the fancy word for lettering, if I don't like the lettering, I can even change that by going here and making it a darker color. So now it's black. It's easier to see than the gray. If I want to change these labels because they're kind of small to read, I can click on the label and you'll see here that it says the size of the legend. I can go here and I can maybe give it 16, also make it a darker color, and then it's a lot easier to see. So now I have this beautiful pie chart that's really clear. Everything's easy to see. This looks very professional, okay? That's simple. What I would do now is I'm going to copy this pie chart, and I'm going to copy it by going here and saying copy chart. So here just means at the top right corner, there's some dots, copy the chart. I don't want to delete the chart because if I delete it, if I made a mistake and I want to come back and edit it later, I have to restart. I don't want to restart all this work. So I'm going to make sure I just copy it, and then what I'm going to do next is go and make back to my waffle of Google Apps, and I'm going to go to Google Slides. It's slowly loading. I'm going to create a new presentation. Okay. We can call this creating a story map. And then I can insert a new slide. So if you've never used Google Slides, it's really easy. You can insert a new slide by going to slide, new slide. You can decide what type of layout you want your slide to have. So it could have something where, you know, you have a place to write and then two different places for your pictures. In this case, this is actually a really good setup for me because I'm going to be comparing two different pie charts. So I like this setup, so I'm going to keep this. But you could choose any of the types of slides that you think work best, okay? And that's just going to apply layout and looking at the different types, okay? So what I'm going to do now is, thank you, I'm going to put my picture into here. And I'm going to make it smaller, and I'm going to stick it in this box to help me. And there I go. There is my pie chart showing me the different types. Okay? Actually, I don't really like this layout, so I'm going to change it right now. I changed my mind. I'm going to go back and I'm going to just make it blank. So now I have full control over how big I want this to be. Okay? Excellent. So there it is. That's Lael's Canadian carbon footprint. So now what I would do after this is I'm going to do the exact same thing but I'm now going to do it for the country that I lived in before coming to Canada. Okay, so if you think that you can do this part by yourself, you don't need to watch the next video. If you would like to watch me do this again with the other example, you can watch video number 2. Okay, thanks a lot.